Hello and welcome. My name's Chris Can with Australia's Mining Monthly and Mining Magazine. We're at Future of Mining Asia in Singapore, and with me I have Vinit Lakhani, who is with Tata International. Vinit, thanks so much for joining us. I wanted to ask you firstly about commodities trading in the context of the critical minerals supply chain. How does that work?
Look, commodity trading has been around for a while. Right, so there have been people who have been trading metals, minerals, bulk commodities for a long time, and essentially commodity traders add a lot of value along the supply chain in terms of carrying the working capital, carrying the price risk, not to mention operational risk, logistics and all of those kind of things, basically getting the supply and bridging the supply and the demand. It is a lot more critical for critical minerals, because purely the nature of the product and the location of the product. Critical minerals are typically found in tough jurisdictions. You've got Africa, you've got South America, and that's where all the supply is sitting, and the demand and the processing is sitting in Asia, Far East, China, Korea, Japan. Most of these products. So you need somebody who can profitably, economically, safely carry these products from the miners all the way to the processing center. So that's where commodity traders jump in. It's a lot of working capital, it's a lot of operational risk, sometimes price risk as well. So I see the role of commodity traders in the critical minerals ecosystem actually increasing in the commodity, in the critical mineral ecosystem, rather than the traditional product like the coal and the iron ores of the world. There are more established trading routes. And so that's one. The second thing is that the critical mineral supply chain is still very young, right? They're still trying to find out what the right flows are. Instead of, you talk about iron ore, you've got a very dominant supply chain. Australia, China, Brazil, China, right? That's 60, 70, 80% of the iron ore supply chain globally. Whereas what's happening in critical minerals with things like IRA, with things like the Critical Minerals Act, there is no dominant supply chain. There are going to be a lot of regional supply chains for critical minerals, and that's where you need somebody who's a bit more nimble, a bit more agile to capture these optionalities and to basically tweak if needed. So I believe commodity traders will have a lot of value. I'm not saying it because I'm a commodity trader, but I genuinely feel that there is a lot of value that commodity traders as middlemen can bring to the table.
Okay, and from one very popular theme to another, and talking about the circular economy, recycling. With your commodity trader hat on, where do you see the role of recycled metals fitting into the energy transition and decarbonisation in general?
I think people don't talk about recycling as much as they should. In fact, I feel scrap and recycled products are as critical minerals, because at the end of the day, to mine critical minerals and to process, there's a lot of carbon footprint, not to mention the logistics and transportation and shipment and all of that. Whereas recycling and scrap, all the carbon footprint, the dominant carbon footprint is already gone, right? So, fortunately for us, most of the metals, minerals can be efficiently recycled, potentially sometimes even infinite number of times. I'll give an example. About 70 or 80% of aluminium ever produced is still in the ecosystem, because it can be recycled time and again, and the carbon footprint's long gone, right? So I would actually classify scrap and recycled products as critical minerals. So I think there's a lot of value these products add. But sure, right now, because of the energy transition, the whole demand for these products is increasing, right? So you will still need some primary products to be mined. So let's say, for example, for one metal, let's say aluminium or copper, the ratio between the primary usage of product and the secondary product, recycled product, is say 70-30. So I think over time what will happen is the primary will start tapering down and the use of recycling will start going up, and they'll get to a stage, hopefully in the next in near future, but they'll get to a steady state, right, where you don't really need to mine anything. Whatever is already mined will just keep getting recycled, and I think that's a dream for energy transition. But I think that will happen. It'll take time, potentially a decade or maybe more for some products. But that's where I think we should be heading for. So I expect the regulators to also give some more regulatory attention to recycling as well, as they've done for critical minerals by way of Critical Minerals Act and IRA and all of that.
Okay, Vineet, this is our first Future of Mining Asia. It's your first Future of Mining Asia as well, obviously. What are you hoping to get out of these 2 days?
No, I think it's very interesting. I like the word future of mining, because there is a lot of mining that needs to be done in the future, because what's unfortunately happened is that a lot of processing capacity has been developed, right? Of course, sure, it costs a lot of money. It costs billions of dollars to set up refining capacities for rare earths and lithiums and cobalts and nickels of the world. But there's an established technology, and it just needs capital, right? Whereas for mine, it's a lot of hard work and capital, right? To set up a mine from exploration all the way till the time it starts commercially producing, it takes easily 5 to 7 or potentially even 10 years, right? So I'm glad somebody's covering the future of mining, and I hope because slowly the way investments are happening, I think there's a bit more of overcapacity on the downstream side. There is not enough mining happening, whether it's copper or aluminum or nickel or cobalt or lithium. I think the equation needs to balance, because there is too little ore chasing too much of downstream refineries. So I hope this conference puts some more attention and focus on the future of mining. And of course, you're covering all the relevant topics: critical minerals, the IRA, the EV ecosystem. So yeah, so looking forward to meeting a lot of like-minded people who share the same view, share the same vision. And yeah, let's see. Hopefully see you next year again.
That'd be wonderful.
In a much better and a more positive setting.
And higher commodity prices and more commodity trading, hopefully.
I think the prices are okay. I won't complain, right? Of course, we would like prices to it's not about the prices, it's about the demand and supply. I think the demand's been a bit subdued. There's a bit of a recalibration happening on the demand side. People probably, the analysts, they forecasted a bit too high growth for certain products. But that's fine. These are new products, and it'll take time. There will be several recalibration cycles along the way, and that's where we are sitting. We are out there to manage the price risk for you.
Vineet, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.